please see on the screen. This morning, Grandpa gave it to Mummy this morning. Henry, yes. Victoria, huh? He was drunk this morning. Mrs. Slater appears carrying a handsome clock under her arm. I thought I would fetch this down as well. She puts it on the mantelpiece. Our clock is worth nothing, and this always appealed to me. That is Grandpa's clock. Mrs. Slater, be quiet, it is ours now. Come, Henry, lift your hand. And this letter, this girl, she got it out. Grandpa gave it to Mummy this morning. This morning did he give? Yes, this morning he gave. Huh? He was drunk this morning. Grandpa was drunk and he was not in a position to give or talk. When that girl expressed that surprise, her mother came down with a wall clock. And this wall clock is very nice. This wall clock appealed to me. Our old clock is not at all good. And this wall clock appealed to me. Then immediately this girl complained, that is Grandpa's old clock. That is Grandpa's clock. No. This is ours now. This clock is ours now. And she kept the clock on the mantle. A mantle is a protruding shelf over the fireplace. A shelf that is protruding, say here, they generally decorated, decorative pieces they keep there on the mantelpiece. And she kept that beautiful wall clock on the mantle. Now, Henry and Mrs. Slater, very hot and flushed, stagger in with a pretty old-fashioned bureau containing a locked desk. They put it where the chest of drawers was and straighten the ornaments, etc. There is a knock at the door. The knocking is repeated. Victoria ushers in Ben and Mrs. Jordan. The latter is a stout, complacent woman with an irritating air of being always right. She is wearing an outfit of new mourning. Ben is also in complete new mourning. He is rather a jolly little man, but at present trying to adapt himself to the regrettable occasion. Mrs. Jordan sails into the room and solemnly goes straight to Mrs. Slater and kisses her. The men shake hands. Exactly what happens there, and with say they get tired, they bring down the bureau and they put the bureau where the old chest of drawers was. That means already they have removed the old chest of drawers and they have kept it upstairs, and in place of that old chest of drawers now they have kept that bureau. And now they are flushed, they have become red. Their faces, say when tired, when exhausted, faces become red and they were staggering. That means they are not walking properly, because till now they have carried that heavy load. That is why now they have kept it there, and exactly at that time a knocking is heard. Somebody is knocking at the door, and this girl goes out, and this girl brings them, welcomes them, ushers in. She welcomes her aunt and uncle. Who are they? Ben Jordan and his wife. This Elizabeth Jordan, she was, a complacent woman. She was a complacent woman, means she is self-satisfied, she is satisfied, and she is not at all worried about what is happening around the world. You say always she is thinking about herself, an egoistic lady. And that is why complacent lady. And then this man, he is a jolly little man. Ben Jordan is a jolly little man, happily, always he is joyful. But now he is trying to adapt himself to the regrettable occasion. Here, regrettable and regretful. What is the difference between regrettable and regretful? Now, if you regret, if you really regret, you are regretful. But the situation is regrettable. It is, so he is trying to adapt, he is maintaining that. Otherwise, he is always happy and joyful man, a jolly man. He enjoys life, he is a jolly man. Now he is acting because a regrettable occasion. That means he is not regretful. He is not regretful. The situation is regrettable. Suppose one bad incident happened, an important person died or something, that is a regrettable occasion. If you are really, if you have that regret, if you feel sad, if you are full of regret, then you are regretful. Now here this fellow, he is not regretful, and he is adapting himself to the regrettable occasion. That is the thing. And natural, those English ladies, when they come, sister, she comes fast and she kisses her sister, and these men, they shake hands. Mrs. Jordan, well, Amelia, and so he has gone at last. Mrs. Slater, yes, he is gone. He was 72 a fortnight last Sunday. She sniffs back a tear. Ben, chitfully, now, Amelia, you mustn't give way. You mustn't give way. We have all got to die sometime or other. Mrs. Jordan, and now perhaps you will tell us all about it. Father had been married this morning. He went out soon after breakfast to pay his insurance. My word, it's a good thing he did. Say here, when father is dead, this lady, what is she asking her sister? Elizabeth is asking, say she is commenting, so he has gone, at last he has gone. He has gone. So he has gone. Yes, he has gone. 72. He was 72 a fortnight last Sunday. That means he is completed, he is 72 years old. And she was sniffing back her tears like that. No, you must not give away, you must not give away, you must not yield, you must not feel like that. Ben Jordan consoling his sister-in-law. You must not be like that. We all must die. We have got to die. One day or the other, we all die. Why do you feel sad? No. Please don't give way like that. Don't yield. Don't be sad like that. He is comforting her. He is consoling her. Then his wife Elizabeth asked her, now tell me, sister, what exactly happened, how it happened. How it happened and what exactly happened. Then, her sister is saying, this morning he had been very happy. He had been, after his breakfast, he went out to pay his insurance bill. To pay his insurance, he went out. My word! It's a good thing he did. Ben Jordan is commenting. Ben Jordan is very happy. My word! What is the meaning of my word? It is an expression of surprise. Very good thing. Very nice. It is a good thing that he did. He had paid his insurance. Ben said, oh my word, it's a good thing he did. And immediately Ben's wife, Elizabeth Jordan, she was saying, yes, that man, he was a very nice gentleman. He was too honorable to have gone without paying his premium. He was too honorable to have gone without paying his premium. That means he was so honorable, he was such a gentleman, he was such a respectable man, he could not leave this, he could not have left this world without paying. That means such gentlemen would pay and they would leave this world. They would pay, they would honor their commitments, and after that they would die. Say here, his wife, praising him. And when at that time, here, Henry Slater, he said, when I went there, he was snug in bed, he was very comfortable in bed. And then Henry's wife, Mrs. Slater, she was saying, after dinner, I took him a plate, and in that plate, when I went there, his body touched, when I touched his body, it is very cold. It was cold, and he was lying there. He was lying there as if he was asleep, that is, he was dead. She said, he was lying there for all the world as if he was asleep, as if he was asleep. This is manner, or he is eating. He is eating as if he had never eaten, or he is sleeping as if he had never slept. In the same way, he was lying there, he was asleep. Really, when you see dead people, when you see the people who are dead, they lie there, they are lying down as if they are asleep, as if they are sleeping. Really, are they sleeping? No. That means they are dead. As if they are dead. And here this is as if this conjunction, it is used for manner, and this to, and so that not. He was so honorable that he could not have gone without paying. He could not have left the world without paying the insurance premium. Here the ceiling is so high that I cannot touch. This is adverbial clause of result. The mountain is so high that I cannot climb. Here it is so hard, the coffee is so hard that I cannot drink. In the same way, he was so honorable that he could not have left this world without paying his insurance premium. That means he was such a gentleman, he would pay, and only after paying he would leave this world. Right. Mrs. Slater, rising briskly at length in a business-like tone, well, will you go up and look at him now, or shall we have tea? Mrs. Jordan, what do you say, Ben? Ben, I am not particular. Mrs. Jordan, well then, if the kettle is ready, we may as well have tea first. Mrs. Slater puts the kettle on the fire and gets tea ready. Here she is feeling sad, and she is trying to restrain her tears, sniffing back tears. Generally, when people feel sad and when they cry, they sniff back tears. Okay. Here, as usual, it is all pretending, they are all acting, and she became normal. And in a business-like tone, she was saying, will you go up and see father, or shall we have tea? When a person is lying dead, they are talking about having tea. Will you go up and see? Will you go up see first, or shall we have tea? And here Ben Jordan, Jordan's wife, asked him, Elizabeth asked, what about you, Mr. Ben? What do you say? Shall we have tea, or shall we go up? I am not particular, he said. I am not particular means I am undecided. I don't bother what is decided. I don't mind what is decided. Whatever you decide, I accept. I am not in particular, means I don't bother or I don't mind what is decided. Whatever you decide, I will accept. And then his wife said, okay, let us have tea. And then this lady, she puts the kettle on the fire and she gets the tea ready. She gets the tea ready. Okay, then Henry, one thing we may as well decide now in the announcement in the papers. Mrs. Jordan, I was thinking of that. What would you put? A pause. Again, Mrs. Jordan, well, we will think about it after tea and then we will look through his bits of things and make a list of them. There is all the furniture in his room. There is no jewelry or valuables of that sort, Henry said. Mrs. Jordan, except his gold watch, he promised that to our Jimmy. And at that time, this Henry, let us put an advertisement in the newspapers. What shall we put? What shall we write? Ben Jordan's wife, Elizabeth said, and Elizabeth asked, what shall we put there in the newspapers? And again, that lady, she is not at all interested in giving advertisements or demise news there in newspaper. And let us go through the bits of things. They say, let us go through the bits of things that he left. That is, she is very much interested in the property that the old man has left. Let us put together, let us list them out so that we can share. She is interested in dividing the property or the valuable things. There is so much furniture in his room, she said. No, there is no valuable property. There is no jewelry or valuables in his room, Henry said. No, he has got a gold watch. And he promised it to Jimmy. To my Jimmy, he promised his gold watch, she said. See on the screen. Promised your Jimmy? I never heard of that. Oh, but he did, Amelia. When he was living with us, he was very fond of Jimmy. Mrs. Jordan. Mrs. Slade. Well, I don't know. Anyhow, there is his insurance money. Have you got the receipt for the premium he paid this morning? I have not seen it, Mrs. Slater. Here this woman, Ben Jordan's wife, Elizabeth is saying, father promised it to my son Jimmy. Yes, when he was with us, he promised it, she said. And then in the meantime, this fellow Ben Jordan, he was asking Amelia, have you seen that insurance, the premium receipt? Already this morning he paid the premium, insurance premium. Have you seen that receipt? And here, this lady was saying, my father was fond of Jimmy, my son. Whose son was Jimmy? Elizabeth's son was Jimmy. So, my father was fond of my son Jimmy and he promised a gold watch to him. And receipt, here this pronunciation, this P is silent, it should be pronounced as a receipt. We should not say receipt. Receipt is wrong, that is receipt, right? And this fellow, he wanted to see the premium receipt, insurance premium receipt, but it is not there. And this woman says, I have no receipt with me. Victoria jumps up from the sofa and comes behind the table. Mother, I don't think Grandpa went to pay his insurance this morning. Mrs. Slater, he went out. Victoria, yes, but he didn't go into the town. He met old Mr. Tattersall down the street and they went half past St. Philip's Church. Ben, do you think he hasn't paid it? Was it overdue? I should think it was overdue, Mrs. Slater. At that time, the girl jumps out, jumps up from the sofa, and she says, she goes behind the table and she says to his mother, Mummy, Grandpa has not paid. Mummy, Grandpa has not paid the insurance premium, she says. No, he goes out this morning, he went out to pay the premium. No, Mummy, he did not go into the town. He went towards this St. Philip's Church, and he met his old friend Mr. Tattersall. He met Mr. Tattersall. Both of them went past this St. Philip's Church. And then Ben Jordan got a doubt. Oh my God, didn't he pay? Was it overdue? And then Mrs. Henry Slater, she says, yes, I should think it is overdue. Overdue means that bill has not been paid, it has remained due, and so now the insurance policy is not going to become valid. Henry. But we don't know for certain that he has not paid the premium. Mrs. Slater. Victoria, run upstairs and fetch the bunch of keys that's on your grandpa's dressing table. Victoria, timidly, in grandpa's room? Mrs. Slater, yes. Victoria, I don't like to. Mrs. Slater, don't talk so silly. There is no one who can hurt you. Victoria goes out reluctantly. We will see if he has locked the receipt, up in the bureau. Here Mr. Henry, he is saying, we don't know for certain that he has not paid the bill. We don't know for certain that he has not paid the bill. That means he may have paid. He may have paid the bill. Mrs. Jordan then said, yes, it indicates that he has not paid it. He has not paid the premium. I get the feeling that he has not paid. And her husband, what did he call? Drunken old beggar. You see, in the beginning, when he knew that he had paid the bill, this morning he had gone out to pay the bill. At that time, my word, it was a good thing he did. Now, when he came to know that he had not paid the bill, now he was saying, a drunken old beggar. And his wife, what was she saying? Mrs. Jordan, he has done it on purpose. He has done it on purpose. That means intentionally, wantonly, he has done it with a purpose. He has done it on a purpose. Intentionally he did it. He wanted us to be in trouble. That's why he did like that. She blamed him. And Mrs. Elizabeth, here, Elizabeth Henry, Mrs. Henry, she was saying, after all these 3 years, I had to put up with him. Here the phrasal verb put up with. Put up with means bear. Say, I have suffered. All these 3 years he had been with me, he has been with me, and I have suffered, and I have had to bear him. I have had to bear him for 3 years. And after all these 3 years, it is nothing but a swindling, means a cheating. He had cheated. Here she is blaming her father for not paying insurance premium, and it is nothing but swindling, she said. Then her sister, Mrs. Jordan, she was saying, he has been with us for 5 years. I had to put up with him for 5 years. Say, Mrs. Elizabeth, I had to put up with him for 5 years. And then this lady, naturally she say, all those years you were trying to hand me over. You say, you are trying to evade the responsibility. Always you are looking for a chance to hand him over to me. Mrs. Slater. Then Mrs. Slater asks her daughter, Victoria, go up, and see there in your grandpa's dressing table a bunch of keys, and please bring them. Let us see if he has kept that insurance premium, the receipt in the lock. Go up and bring the bunch of keys. This girl timidly, what is meant by timidity? Fear. You say, because that person is dead, everybody is thinking that that person is dead. So, to that dead person, she is not willing, the girl is not willing, timidly. No, I have to go there. Have I to go there alone? Yes, you have to go. What happens? Nothing. Nobody can harm you there. Go up. Let us see if he has kept the receipt in this bureau, she was saying. Ben, in where? In this thing, he rises and examines it. Mrs. Jordan also rising. Where did you pick that up, Amelia? It's new since last I was here. They examine it closely. Oh, Henry picked it up one day. Victoria returns very scared. She closes the door after her. Mother, Victoria. Mrs. Slater, what is it, child? Victoria, Grandpa's getting up. Ben, what? Mrs. Slater, what do you say? Victoria, Grandpa getting up. Mrs. Jordan, the child is crazy. At that time, what happened? They got surprised. Why would that old man keep his insurance receipt here in this bureau? They got a doubt. Oh, where? Where did he keep his receipt? In this thing? In this bureau? This Ben Jordan gets a doubt, and he is going there, and he was seeing, and exactly at that time his wife also gets a doubt, and both of them seeing that, and this sister, Mrs. Ben Jordan, she is asking her sister, Amelia, it is a new thing. Well, last time when I came here, it was not there. Last time when I came here, it was not there. When did you? Henry picked it up. Henry says she is lying. She is telling lies. Actually, the bureau belongs to her father. But now she says her husband has bought it. My husband picked it, and he has bought it. She is supporting. Exactly at the time, the child comes out, and she is very frightened, and she says, Mommy, say, what is that? What is it? Grandpa is getting up. Grandpa is getting up. Oh my God, all of them got surprised. Oh, what? What do you talk? This man is dead. No, Grandpa is getting up. Getting up. Say, all the persons were surprised when the girl said Grandpa was getting up. Mrs. Slater, don't talk so silly. Don't you know your grandpa's dead? No, he's getting up. I saw him. They are transfixed with amazement. Victoria clings to Mrs. Slater. Ben suddenly, hist, listen. They look at the door. A slight chuckling is heard from upstairs. The door opens, revealing an old man clad in a faded but gay dressing gown. He is in his stockinged feet. Although over 70, he is vigorous and well-colored. His bright, malicious eyes twinkle under his heavy, reddish-grey eyebrows. He is obviously either that old Abel Merriweather or else his ghost. Here, Mrs. Slater, hey, don't talk silly. Your grandpa is dead. How can he come? How can he get up? She is asking her daughter. And exactly at that time, some sound is heard, and this Ben Jordan, hist, he says, hist. The word hist, for attracting attention, we use that word, hist. Look at that. and that old man is coming down. He is chuckling, he is smiling, he is, with a self-satisfaction, he is chuckling and he is coming down, and he is vigorous and well-colored. Vigorous means he is strong, though he is 72, he was strong and he is well-colored. Well-colored means very hale and healthy. He was hale and healthy, that fellow. He was chuckling and he was wearing this faded but gay colored dress and well stockinged, that is, he was wearing shoe, he was wearing socks, and he was coming down. You see, all of them were transfixed. They were looking at him because they all thought that he was dead, but the dead person was walking down. And this girl, small girl, she clung to her mother, she held her mother, and she was looking at him in horror. And all the people, they looked, they were looking at him in surprise.